Hello, Facebook land. Hope everyone's doing great today. I know I am. I love the weather we're having. I love living in Missouri because I know the weather is always going to change. And all of the Missourians said, yay, this is going to change. And yet, yay, that, sometimes it's not that good. But today was a beautiful day. And we might complain about what kind of the weather we have, like it's too hot or it's too cold. But here in Missouri, all we have to do is just wait, and it'll be different. It'll change because the weather is always changing around here. But today was perfect. Not too hot, not too cold. And this got me to thinking about what season of life was best for me. What season of life was best for me? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever wondered, okay, what season, if I could go back to any season of life, I should ask that question on my Facebook page. I might do that tomorrow. If I could go back to any season of life, where would I go back to? What season of life was best for me? But here's the conclusion I came to after thinking about it for a while, that the season of life I'm in at the current moment, no matter where I was in life at any moment in life, that was the best season for me. That means that even in the bad times, the season of life I was in was the best for me at that moment. So where you are right now is the best place for you. Now, I know that some of you will argue with me about that because you don't feel like you're in a good place right now. Something has happened to you, something you don't like. Maybe there are people in your life that are causing havoc. Maybe there are people in your life who are having issues, and that worries you and bothers you. And it's just you feel like this is just a bad season for me right now. And I get that. I've gone through some really bad seasons myself. And we all have. And we probably all will in the future. But here's what I realized. So hang with me here a minute. I had to go through those seasons to get to what God had next for me. And what God had next was always better than what I'd gone through. And many times what I had gone through had brought me to what he had next for me. This is kind of goes along with the scripture in Isaiah 43:19 in the New Living Translation that says, "For I am about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it?" And most of the time we don't, especially not if we're in a bad place. He says, "I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland." What that means is that right at the current time that he was writing that to Isaiah, Isaiah was in the wilderness, felt like he was in a wilderness, felt like he was in a dry wasteland, and couldn't see anything new or good or life-giving or directional to show him where to go about the place he was in. I'd like for you to think about some of those worst seasons of your life. What kind of things were happening during those seasons? One of the seasons for me that I feel like was the very worst was when I weighed 430 pounds, especially when I found myself in the hospital, possibly needing open heart surgery. And I'd had an angiogram and to see, if that was even possible. At my size, they didn't even know if that was possible. And the cardiac surgeon waltzes into my room and he says, "You don't need open heart surgery. You need to lose weight. You need to lose at least 100 pounds and keep it off, or you will be dead in 5 years." And then he said, your heart was never designed to pump blood through a body of your size. So your heart's not going to last if you don't lose the weight. And then he left. And he left me there. That was a bad season. That day was a really bad day. I'm alone in my hospital room. I'm thinking about what 5 years from there would look like, how old my children would be. My daughter was 8 at the time. She would have only been 13. My son was 14, I think, at the time. 5 years, he would be 19. He would have graduated from high school, but would be starting college. I didn't want to be absent from their life. I wanted to see them grow up. I wanted to see them accomplish all of the great things that I knew they would accomplish in their lifetime. It was devastating to me because I had lost weight many times. I'd been on a lot of diets. I'd lost weight. I'm a pretty good dieter. I can lose weight. But the problem was that I couldn't keep the weight off. I'd always gain it back plus more. And so basically, I just stopped trying. Why do I try to lose weight if I'm not going to keep it off? And now the doctor's telling me I have to keep it off. And if I don't keep it off, I'm going to die. And I didn't know how to keep it off. So, I'm telling you, that was a time when I had to do some soul searching. What am I going to do to make this happen? And I made a renewed commitment to attempt to lose the weight and this time keep it off. But I was still going back on another diet because I'd had success on the diet. It was all I knew. And so I was going to go back on the other diet and lose the weight. And I did that and I lost weight, but then it slowly started creeping back up. But I know this. I know that if that doctor had not said that to me, I would have never started towards my weight loss journey. It was a shove, a hard kick in the rear towards the right direction for me. From a man who was not a Christian, but God used him. And God can use anyone in our life to get us headed in the right direction. He didn't want me to die yet. He had to get my attention somehow. And landing me in the hospital, I landed myself in the hospital by gaining the weight, by overeating, by not curtailing my food intake or any of that. I knew what I needed to do. I was selfishly indulging, and I knew that it was going to end in my demise sometime. I just thought it would be a ways away, right? but it wasn't a ways away. It was in God's time, because he knew it was still going to take me even more time to get this down pat. Losing the weight, I lost 100 pounds. I kept it off for a while, then it slowly started coming back. But see, this is what God does for us. When he is ready to do something new in our lives, he gets our attention. And sometimes he can only get our attention through a really, really difficult season of our life. The worst season. The time when we come to the bottom of ourselves. The time when we are so far down, when we look up, we can't even see light. And that's where I was. In that moment, that's where I was. Attempting to lose weight again, accomplishing that, keeping it off, but then seeing that what really was going wrong in my life was that I needed habit change. That's what I had to have. I like Isaiah 43:19 in the Amplified as well. It says, "Listen carefully. I am about to do a new thing. Now it will spring forth. Will you not be aware of it? I will even put a road in the wilderness, rivers in the desert." All we see is wilderness and wasteland with no way forward or no way through. But God creates a clear roadway and rivers which give life to the desert, where nothing can grow without water. Water is life in the desert. He creates something new out of something we think is useless and abandoned. To tell you the truth, I pretty much felt that I was useless and abandoned. I had abandoned myself. God hadn't abandoned me. He was there all the time. I thought for sure he would abandon me, because why would he keep pouring his grace out on me and again showing me what I needed to do when I was stubborn and rebellious? But he does that for us. He does that for us because he has something new for us, and he doesn't want us to miss it. He's already started it. He says that in Isaiah 43:19. He's already got it started, meaning he's already working on your heart to prepare you for what he has for you. When the doctor gave me the news that I would be dead in 5 years if I didn't lose weight, I set out to prove him wrong. It took a few more seasons of my life and a few more God nudges to get me to lose the weight that I finally lost, 250 pounds. But he did get me there. He didn't give up on me, and he won't give up on you either. One night, it was a few years after I had lost the weight, and I was already on a journey of discovery of who I am now with the weight off. God woke me up with numbers in my brain, on my mind. 33:3. Now, I knew instantly that was a scripture. I mean, 33:3, that's what you say when you say a scripture. And the first one I looked up resonated with me. It was Jeremiah 33:3. And it says, "Ask me, and I will tell you remarkable secrets that you do not know about things to come. Ask me." So I started asking him. I wasn't really sure I wanted to know, because sometimes when God shows us things, then we think that we have to make that happen. But when for me, God only shows me things that are impossible for me to do and only possible for him to when he opens the doors. So when I started asking him, he pulled back the curtain of heaven just a bit to show me all that was there for me. And it was a room full of things, but they weren't things specifically, they were happenings, if you can understand that. It's a room of happenings. And a lot of them have already come to pass in my life, such as specific books that I would write and have written since then, seminars that I've spoken at, TV shows I've been interviewed on. And some of those are still to come. And some things I saw were still waiting to be revealed. So isn't that the cool aspect of God, that there are things that he doesn't show us, things that he just wants to say, hey, you know, I've got this, I got something waiting for you, but I'll reveal it to you in time. This reminds me of one of my favorite scriptures. It says, God can do anything, you know, far more than you could ever imagine or guess or request in your wildest dreams. And he does it not by pushing us around, but by working within us, his spirit deeply and gently within us. That's what God does in our lives. So let me ask you, what's next for you? Have you thought about that? What's next for you? Now, I know, because I talk to a lot of people every day, and I see your posts here on the Facebook page, that for many, it's losing weight so that you can have the stamina, the energy, the clarity, and focus to step into all the other things that God has for you to do. Maybe some of you, it's managing a different kind of addiction. For me, it was food addiction. There are many kinds of addictions that we need to allow God to manage for us in our lives. But specifically for those who have food issues, I'm opening Overcomers Christian Weight Loss Academy really, really, really soon. And I want you to get on the wait list, because here's the reason you need to get on the wait list. I'm going to offer an early bird bonus that you don't want to miss, at no charge. If you come into the group, you will get this early bird bonus. It's for those who sign up within the first 24 hours. You come into the group within the first 24 hours of when we're open, you're going to get this gift. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's a secret. See, I got something in the storeroom for you. Just like God has all these things in the storeroom for you, I've got something in the storeroom for you. And it's a unique gift that I know you're going to want. It's a labor of love from me to you. And those on the wait list will get first crack at it. So go now and sign up on that list. You will not be sorry. Now let me talk just for few seconds here about Overcomers. We have a three-pronged approach in Overcomers. We have our Overcomers dashboard, which is on my website, where you log in with your members. Log in. There are 25 courses there and over 200 video lessons. And then we have the Facebook group, where a lesson a week is posted in that group that is from the dashboard, but it's just a way for us to go through a course together in the Facebook group. It's where encouragement and support happens. It's where I answer your questions. It's where I help you go forward on your journey. Now this group, Overcomers, well, let's see, third prong, sorry, I forgot it. The third prong is our monthly live video call, where I answer your questions and I work one-on-one with you in front of the rest of the group, but I will work one-on-one with you. Many breakthroughs happen. We've even had one lady who got saved on our monthly call. Really, it was very cool. Um, so this group, Overcomers Academy, is designed to help you change habits. So if you've got a bad habit in your life and you want to change that habit, you can't just stop it and try hard to focus on it, focus on stopping it, because that's just going to make you want to do it more. There's a way to change that habit, and we work on that in the group. It helps you get rid of emotional roadblocks that are holding you back from whatever it is you want, especially losing weight and living healthy. And we will give you tools that you can apply to help you on your journey. So like I said, the group is opening really, really, really soon. I'm not going to tell you the date, but it is really soon. So you will want to go and get on the wait list. It's teresashildsparker.com, overcomers-christian-weight-loss-academy. And that will get you to the page where it tells you all about Overcomers Academy. And you can sign up at the end. It will say, I'm ready to overcome, or something like that. Click there and it will take you down to the wait list where you can just sign up. And then you're in, and you will get an email when the group opens really soon. It really is soon. Okay. I don't know if anybody has any questions or not. You can ask them, but I don't see any comments or any questions. So ask questions. Feel free to ask questions on the replay, and I will be happy to answer them. Okay? Sweet grace for your journey.